Hi, guys, and welcome back to my verbal journal. I'm Macy, your host, and I'm so happy you're here today. This is a podcast where we talk about everything about life in our 20s, specifically nutrition, fitness, friendships, discipline, relationships, and so much more. First of all, I just want to say I'm sorry I missed a week of uploading. I had 5 exams the week before spring break, and then I was out of town for spring break, obviously, which I will update you guys on. But I am so happy to be back in routine and back on the mic talking to you guys. This is literally my third time recording this. Both the first two times I tested the audio and everything sounded great. And then I recorded everything, went to go edit it, and there was video but no audio. So this is take number 3. So if my voice is gone, that is why. But had to stick it out. So it's currently Sunday and we start school tomorrow back after spring break. So I'm kind of depressed about that, but I am happy to be back in the flow of things and be back in routine and everything like that. So yeah, this week I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about gym tips and just things I've learned throughout my own fitness journey and as I've transitioned from being a college athlete and a lifelong soccer player and someone competing in structured sports, whether it was gymnastics, soccer, skiing, everything like that, to kind of having to navigate it all on my own when I transferred. So yeah, I just want to give you guys some general tips. Some of it is a lot of it's about lifting, but it's not all just about lifting. It's kind of just about any type of working out and a little bit of nutrition tips sprinkled in there. So yeah, I'm excited to share with you guys. I hope that this helps you wherever you are in your own journey, or even if you're just in that contemplation stage of thinking about getting into working out. I think that this will be really helpful. I've definitely gone through a lot of phases and highs and lows in my own fitness journey. I've talked about this in the past, but I've dealt a lot with over exercise. So I'm just going to kind of talk through it all with you guys today. But first, I'll give you guys a little life update and then we'll get into the segments of the things I've been loving lately and an unpopular opinion that I have. So, life update, other than the fact that this is my third time recording this. Basically, it's been chaos. I was super stressed out the week before spring break, just trying to pack and get everything together with having 5 exams, and 3 of them were on Friday. So every single time I went to pack, I was like, oh my God, I should be studying. So literally packed 45 minutes before I had to leave for the airport and was scrambling after my test. I came home and made lunch and then had an Uber scheduled. So I had to quickly throw everything together. But I got all my stuff there. So that's what's important. I did have to bring another suitcase back here with me from home because I bought too much stuff in Boston and my mom had to pack a lot of it in her suitcases to take home. So I went to Boston and then I went back to Colorado and then I came back to Texas for school. So I did come back with an extra suitcase, but that's okay. We got everything here and that's what's important. But yeah, spring break was so much fun, so needed. I got to spend a lot of time with my mom and then I got to see a lot of my old friends from Bentley, and that was really awesome. I missed them so much. And then I got to go home for a little bit and see my dad, my brother, my grandparents, my friends. So that was really nice because I am going abroad for 3 weeks for all of May for a class. I'm going to Spain. So I'm not going to see a lot of people for a while. So it was good to be able to go home for a few days. But yeah, I was definitely not ready to come back. And yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit stressed out about school starting up again, but I'm just gonna make sure that I'm doing everything I can, controlling the controllables and trying not to stress out too much, because at the end of the day, everything gets done and it's all gonna be okay. So obviously I'm gonna continue to work my ass off, but at the same time I need to be a little bit more kind to myself and give myself a little bit more grace. And luckily we're in the home stretch of the semester, so almost done. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for a life update. Nothing else has really changed. I guess when I was in Boston, it just made me really think about like my future, and I was just like, I really see myself living there in the future. And part of me just wants to jump to that stage of my life, but I'm also trying to be more present in what's happening here and now. And I know that I won't get this time back, so I want to try to focus on how much what's going on for me right now, and how much good and how happy I am here, instead of like always jumping to the future. So yeah, that's kind of all. Some things I've been loving lately. Okay, so the first thing, I'm not normally like a pop person, like pop music, but I have been loving Tate McRae, and not just her music. Like, her music is good, but it's more just like her and her dancing and like her aura, and I don't know, she just seems so fun. Like, and she's such a good dancer. Like, I want to go to one of her concerts just because it seems so entertaining. Like, she seems like such a great performer. So yeah, I've actually really liked her lately, because I'm like not really into Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, like Chappell Roan, like whatever. But I can get behind Tate McRae. So yeah. And the next, specifically her song Revolving Door, I've been loving. But yeah, besides the point. The second thing that I loved was Solidcore. I tried it out because I was in Boston and we were staying in an Airbnb, so I didn't have like a gym there. So I was like, well, I might as well try some different workout classes. So I went to SoulCycle, which I love SoulCycle. I know people have shit on SoulCycle in the past, but I think their cycling classes they're intense. They're great. They compare well to the place that I go to in Colorado called High Ride Cycle, which is like my favorite. But I actually like SoulCycle. When I was at Bentley, I went to a place called Fire Cycle, which was in Waltham, and that was a really great studio as well. Unfortunately, in Texas, there's only Cycle Bar, which I've tried a few classes at, and honestly, I don't love it. It's like the RPMs and it wasn't very hard compared to SoulCycle and High Ride and everything else. So I just take cycling classes at TCU while I'm here because they're free, and like there's a couple instructors that are really good. So yeah, I just do those, but it was really nice to be able to go to some different workout classes. Back to the point, Solidcore. Everyone's been like hyping it up on TikTok and stuff like that, so I wanted to try it just because I've done a lot of Pilates in the past, but sometimes I feel like it's not a very intense workout. Like, I don't feel like it's doing very much, and I don't, I don't know. It definitely is. I know that it's working those small muscles, but like, coming from an athletic background, like, I want to be sweating. Like, I want to feel like I'm working, And I think Solidcore was like a more intense version of Pilates, and I really felt like it hit those smaller muscles, and like I was fatigued and it was like hard. So I definitely recommend going if you haven't tried it. I think on ClassPass you can get like a free first class or something. I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't do it like every single day, and I wouldn't do it all the time. Like, I still like to lift heavy, and for my goals, that makes a lot of sense. But Solidcore was a good workout. So if you haven't tried it and you think Pilates is like not your thing because it's too slow, I would try Solidcore. Yeah. Those are the things I've been loving lately, other than the norm, like hockey playoffs starting soon. Go Avs, per usual. They almost gave me a heart attack last night, giving up such a big lead and letting the Canadians literally tie it up in like in the third period. At the end of the third period, they scored like 3 goals in like 6 minutes or something. I don't even know. It might have been less than that. But I was literally almost turned the TV off because I was like, oh, we're ahead by like 3 goals, whatever. Like, I'm going to take a shower, and I was like trying to unpack and stuff. And then they tied it up, and I was like shitting my pants. But luckily we won in a shootout. So it was all okay, but definitely made it way too close for comfort. But yeah. Okay. An unpopular opinion that I have, this is probably going to seem obvious since I just ranted about how much I love Boston, but I love the East Coast more than the West Coast. Like, the whole surfer girl, California beach girl is really not my vibe. I don't love going to the beach, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's fun sometimes on vacation, but like, I'm not like, oh, I just want to go to the beach. Like, I want to live on the beach. Like, that's not really me. And I know there's obviously beaches on the East Coast, but it's more just like the culture out there, the architecture, the city vibes. Like I want everything close to where I can just walk everywhere and it's not too crowded to where I'm like dying. Like New York City's not really my thing. That's why Boston is kind of a good in between. And I just like the fashion better when it's colder weather. So yeah, the West Coast. I mean, I guess Colorado is technically West, but it's not West Coast. It's just kind of Midwest, but it also is superior to all of the other Midwest states. So I wouldn't really consider it Midwest because Colorado is definitely dope as fuck and deserves more hype than the rest of the Midwest states. But yeah, I don't know. I love the East Coast and I definitely want to live in Boston. So yeah. Okay. That's kind of it for the segments. So let's get into the episode. Okay, so I'm going to start by giving you guys just some tips I've jotted down, and then I'll talk about my current workout split and what's been working for me and just talk about my journey a little bit. Don't take what I'm saying as Bible. Like everyone's body is different and what works for me might not work for you, and that is totally fine. Don't just follow trends on the internet and do what like influencers are telling you to do, because there is no one formula. There's no like one right way to go about fitness. So, but yeah, I hope that some of these will kind of help you navigate your own journey. Okay. First thing for like weightlifting, please prioritize your form over the weight. Like, it's okay if you have to start with literally 10-pound dumbbells. Like, it's better that you're doing it correctly and your muscles are actually, you're hitting the right muscles and you're going to prevent injury if you're making sure that your form is correct. Even if you have to start with just body weight, like that's completely fine. But don't just try to lift super heavy just because you can and compensate by like using your back and injuring yourself. So yeah, you've probably heard that before, but just form over weight. I'm not going to go into depth. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, the next thing, and this is something I wish I would have known sooner, but focus on fewer exercises and more mind-muscle connection, and like focus on doing 4 sets of each exercise to failure, rather than going around to 8 different machines or doing 8 different exercises for like 3 sets and just like kind of going through the motions. Because you're really going to target the muscle group properly if you do fewer exercises, and you're going to be able to train to failure and really place the most strain on the muscle to build it back up stronger. So, for example, like on a glute and hamstrings day, like do hip thrusts, and then I'll do split squats, Bulgarian split squats, and then I'll do RDLs and glute hyperextensions or hamstring curls. And I'm not like gonna go do step ups and then go do hip thrusts and then do kickbacks and then squat and then do single leg RDLs and then do splits. Like, you know, it's too much. Focus on fewer exercises and be consistent each week, and then you'll see yourself progress with each movement throughout the weeks. So yeah, that was really important, because I feel like as an athlete, like we did a lot of circuits, and we did a lot of like full body training days, or like we divide it into like upper and lower days, which like makes sense when you're playing soccer because you're only lifting 2-3 days a week in the gym with trainers, and they're like telling you what to do. And then you obviously are having to like run, so you don't want to be super sore from lift and stuff like that. But now that I'm like on my own and I'm not running anymore, my form of cardio is cycling once a week and then getting between 15 and 20,000 steps every single day. That's just while I'm at school, just because I walk everywhere. That's not like a thing that you have to hit, but it's just kind of typical for me. So Oh, and then I also do the Stairmaster some days, but I'm not like running around, and I'm obviously not playing soccer. So I can divide my lifts into muscle groups. So yeah, I'll explain my split later, but just making sure that you're targeting a specific muscle group and fatiguing it all the way and going till failure is more important than just hitting every single machine in the gym and like feeling like you kind of just bounced around the entire time. So the next thing is for people that are like new to the gym or new to a type of exercise or new to lifting, please don't avoid machines or exercises because you feel embarrassed or you feel like you're not sure if you're going to do it right and you're scared of what other people are going to think and you're scared people are going to look at you weird. Like, you're preventing yourself from reaching your full potential if you do that, and you're holding yourself back so much for no reason, because I promise no one in the gym is looking at you. First of all, they're focused on themselves, probably looking at themselves in the fucking mirror, so don't worry about that. And also, yeah, you might do it wrong the first time, but you can just look up a quick video on your phone. Like, people are on their phones in between sets, or go to a machine after you just watch someone else do it so you can kind of mimic what they did, or just look up the name of the machine or the exercise and a quick video showing you the correct form will pop up. So I know especially for girls it can be intimidating because you're like, oh, there's so many gym guys down there. As a personal trainer, half of the gym guys in the gym have terrible form and don't know what the fuck they're doing. So please don't be embarrassed, and please don't prevent yourself from reaching your full potential by avoiding machines and exercises because you're scared you're going to do it wrong. Just do it and look up a video or ask someone for the correct form, mimic someone. Like, I promise you it's going to be okay, and you're going to do the exercise once and be like, okay, and then it's going to become a staple in your routine, and you're going to look back and be like, why did I avoid this for so long? So yeah, that definitely held me back for a while, and I was pissed at myself once I got over it. And like, even nowadays, like, if I am traveling and I go to a new gym, like, some machines are a little bit different and I have to play with it a little bit before I figure it out, and that's completely fine. Like, I'm not just gonna like walk away and decide to not do it just because it looks confusing and I'm scared people are gonna think I don't know what I'm doing. Like, if they want to look at me weird, sure, fine. Like, I'm just trying to do my workout. I'm showing up for myself, and that's all that matters. So my next tip is to fuel properly. This is coming from someone who underfueled for a long time, and I was also dealing with a health issue that was basically displacing everything I ate. TMI, but just right through my system. Nothing was staying in there. So, and I wasn't eating enough, and I was over training. I would literally run and lift, and I'd be in the gym for like 2+ hours, and I would literally focus on just burning a certain amount of calories and pushing myself to my absolute limits, and was also underfueling. And guess what? I lost so much muscle and I got so much weaker. So please don't do that. I'm not saying that you need to track your macros and weigh your food and like go crazy, but listen to your hunger cues, listen to your body. I don't know if it's just me, but this shit has been coming up on my TikTok. Advertising for these like appetite suppressants for young girls. Like, it's these young skinny girls that are like promoting it, and they're like, oh, all my cravings were just gone. You just take this pill and all your cravings, like your appetite, you won't constantly be hungry anymore. Like, just take the pill. It's like, if you're constantly hungry, that is your body telling you that you're not fueling yourself properly and that you need food. Like, I'm not saying that you should just go and eat a bunch of junk food just because you're quote unquote craving it. But like, if you're hungry, eat. Like, as long as you're sticking to majority like whole foods and you're cooking a lot of your food at home and you're not eating fast food daily and junk food daily and like slamming chips, like, you're gonna be fine. but you have to listen to your body, and especially if you're lifting and you're wanting to get stronger, you have to fuel properly. Huge misconception right now that like protein is all that matters, and people are like, oh, carbs make you fat, blah blah blah. Carbs do not make you fat. The only thing that can make you gain weight is a caloric surplus. That is the only thing. If you're eating more energy, consuming more energy than you're burning. Like, and second of all, both carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram. And if you're not eating enough carbs, all of your protein is just being broken down into glucose for your brain, because your brain can only take glucose. So none of that protein is actually going to even be used to rebuild your muscle unless you're consuming enough carbs. Because carbs are what we use for energy. So especially before a workout, make sure you're getting carbs in, because that's what's going to get you through your workout and you're going to feel so much stronger. For me, my personal experience with this, I used to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym at 6, and I would eat one of the Chobani zero sugar yogurts with some frozen blueberries. So 70 calories total, 70 calories. Barely any carbs. I think there's maybe 5 grams, I don't know, and 11 grams of protein before my lifts. And halfway through my lifts, I was dead. Like, literally dead. Like, I had no energy left. All I could think about was food. I felt so weak. And so I was like, I can't fucking keep doing this. Like, why am I restricting myself so much? Like, I need the fuel if I'm going to get stronger. So I started making overnight oats, and I eat those every single day. I just do half a cup of oats, and then I do either the Fairlife milk or almond milk in there with some cinnamon and some nutmeg and a little bit of monk fruit syrup. And then in the morning, I just top it with some frozen blueberries and bananas, and out the door, super easy, super quick. And I'm off to the gym. Even if you're like waking up super early and you're really not hungry and you don't want to eat, grab a Go-Go squeeze, have some applesauce, like put some oats in some water and drink it. Like, I don't know. Whatever works for you, grab a quick granola bar, get some carbs in before your workout. Please, please, please. Especially for females, working out fasted can be really detrimental. So please fuel yourself properly. Please, I beg you, and stop avoiding carbs. Okay. The next thing is to be consistent and patient. Consistency is the number one thing. Like, it doesn't matter what workout you're doing. If you're consistent, you're going to see results. So do whatever sort of exercise you can be consistent with. Like, whatever you feel the best doing. It's not like whatever's trending on TikTok or whatever this influencer is telling you to do that's jacked and like looks like you want to look. Like, I know for me personally, running doesn't really make me feel my best. I've struggled with shin splints for years, and I will wake up in crippling pain and not be able to walk the next day, and my hips will hurt, and it will make my lifts feel way weaker. So I kind of cut that out of my routine. It's not to say that I will never run again. And like, sometimes I do wake up and I'm like, I kind of just want to go on a run. So sure, I'll do it. But I know that that's not something that I want to be consistent with long term. And like, I don't really have a desire to like run a marathon or anything like that. And for my aesthetic goals too, like running doesn't really fit in with that. So I'm not going to make myself run just because David Goggins runs. Like, yeah, I love David Goggins, and I think, like, yeah, he's super motivational and, like, has a lot to say that is helpful, but I'm not going to go run 200 miles just because he did, you know? Same thing with, like, hot yoga. I love yoga, and I think that it's super important to cross-train and, like, get stretching in, get cardio in, and some sort of resistance training, but hot yoga for me, I leave and I feel like disgusting and like drained. Yoga in normal temperatures, sign me up. Sure, it's great mentally. It's great recovery, great for everything else, but hot yoga just does not agree with me. So I'm not going to force myself to do it anymore. I've tried it. I've given it a fair shot. I've done it a few, like 5-6 times, and I have not enjoyed it. So do what works for you. Lifting is beneficial for so many things. Cardio, Your cardiovascular health is so, so important, your heart health, everything like that. And they all have their place, but do whatever workout you can be consistent with. Maybe you like solid core and you want to go to that every day. Okay, do it. Maybe you like Orange Theory and you want to do that a couple times a week. I wouldn't recommend doing that every day, but do it. But if you're consistent, the results will come. Like, trust the science, be patient. Yeah. Okay. And my next little piece of advice that I'm also telling to myself is to stop expecting every workout and every lift to be a PR and be the best workout of your life. Don't beat yourself up for having a quote unquote bad workout or bad lift, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing. Like, if you showed up and you gave it your all that day in that moment, that's all that you can control. So why are you shitting on yourself for something you can't control, And I'm talking to myself here. Your lifts and your workouts do not define the rest of your day. They don't define who you are. So don't let it affect the rest of your day or consume your thoughts or contribute to your self-worth, because that can be a really dangerous thing coming from someone who has done that in the past. So yeah, just know that your work ethic is what is controllable, and as long as you're giving it your all, your best one day might not be your best the next day, and that's fine. Especially for females, like with your cycle, we're on a 20 month long cycle. Like, your body feels different and changes throughout the cycle. And like, don't quote me on the science behind this. I think it's in your ovulatory phase and when you're actually bleeding that you feel that you're strongest, and then in your luteal phase you might feel weaker and feel like shit. So yeah, don't quote me on that though. It might be the opposite. I don't know. Look it up. The science is there, but don't beat yourself up if you have a lift where you don't feel your strongest and you might not be able to lift as much as you did last week. Just make sure all you can do is show up, go through the reps, do your workout like you plan to do, and then that was enough. And that was great, and it doesn't define you. So yeah. And honestly, those days, that's when you kind of grow the most, maybe not physically, but mentally, because you are showing yourself that you can do hard things and that you are consistent and you're a self-disciplined person. And showing up on those days shows way more and proves way more, and is honestly more rewarding than showing up on days where you're excited to go to the gym and you feel great and you PR and everything's awesome and it just seemed so easy, So think about it that way. And be proud of yourself. Okay. The next thing is to focus on your effort and not on the caloric burn of your workouts. Like, the amount of calories burned does not equate to how good the workout was or how effective it was. How sore you are the next day doesn't equate to how effective the workout is. And I think that's a big misconception, is that like, if I'm not sore, then I didn't do enough. It's like, no, that's actually not true at all. If you're being consistent with your workouts, you honestly shouldn't be sore, because all the time, you shouldn't be sore every single time, because your body gets used to those exercises. And yes, you're still building the muscle even if you're not sore. So don't rely on that. Yes, it's great to be sore sometimes, and like, if you lift super heavy or you maybe try a new exercise out, like, yeah, you might be sore and that's great, but when you're consistent and doing the same exercises, you're not going to get sore every single workout, and that's totally fine. Your workout's still just as effective. But yeah, don't focus on the numbers, the calories. This is coming from someone. I used to literally not allow myself to leave the gym until I had burned a certain amount of calories. Like, I was obsessed with looking at my Apple Watch, and first of all, that shit's probably not even that accurate. Like, let's be real. And also, I was burning a bunch of calories, but I was getting weaker and weaker. So, yeah, don't equate the calories to the workout effectiveness, please. You'll drive yourself absolutely fucking insane. The only reason I did that is because after I quit college soccer, I was going from training every day and like burning like 800 calories in a training session, and then I was like terrified that I was going to get fat when I quit. And so I was like, okay, I need to run, I need to I need to be burning the same amount of calories, like, so I think that can be common for athletes, and it's something to confront head on and right away, or the sooner the better, or else it spirals into an even more of a problem. And then you start eating less and you start thinking of food as like something you earn because you worked out. And so don't focus on the calories burned. Just focus on your effort, focus on how you feel during it and how you feel after. And that's the most important thing. That being said, please be honest with yourself and actually push yourself in the gym, because I'm sick of people complaining that they don't see results, and then I see them in the gym and they're literally just going through the motions, like on their phones half the time they're in the gym, even on the machines. I've seen people scrolling through fucking social media while they're on a machine in the gym. Just no mind muscle connection there. Just going through the motions, not even focusing on pushing themselves and upping the weight and focusing on their form. So be honest with yourself and actually push yourself, because your body is a machine and it can do so much more than you think. So please put in the effort and you will reap the rewards. And don't expect results if you're not willing to put in the work and be consistent and actually train till failure. So yeah. The last thing I have for you, and this is for myself as well, is to take a rest day. Take a rest day. 2, even 3, I don't care. You need rest if your muscles are actually going to grow and you're actually going to get stronger and your lifts are going to progress. You need a rest day. I used to literally try to eat the same amount of calories and burn the same amount of calories every single day of the week. Like, I was so focused on it. I did not take a day off. On my quote-unquote rest day, I would say I would just go on a walk and do yoga. I'd literally start running, end up running 4 miles. Like, no. And then I wondered why my leg day was shitty. Like, obviously, I gave myself no recovery whatsoever. So please take a rest day. Your body needs it. And if you want to actually see progress and not just have all this effort be wasted, I'm so mad at myself in the past for struggling with this, because I could have been so much farther along in my journey. I could have been so much stronger right now if I just would have taken a day off and fueled properly. So I was putting in so much effort and it was literally doing the opposite of what I wanted it to. So take a rest day, and on your rest day, please don't restrict your calories, because that's when you actually grow. And you're probably honestly a lot of times in a deficit throughout the entire week when you're working out so much. So on that one day, you're probably just meeting your needs, and you're still going to be hungry. You're still going to be hungry and you still need to eat. And your physical activity isn't the main portion of your calories burned. Your body has a set, everyone's body is different. But even if you just laid in bed all day, frozen, didn't blink, didn't breathe, nothing, your body still needs a certain amount of calories for your body to function, for your blood to pump, for you to be able to breathe. I know I just said not breathe. I meant if you just lay there and you don't blink and you're just still. But your body needs a certain amount of calories. It's your basal rate to just function. So please do not deny yourself fuel because you didn't work out on your rest day. That's not cool. Hot girls eat fucking food, okay? But yeah, that is all the tips I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. I'll walk you guys through my current split. And then we'll call it good there. Oh, I just spilled my tea. I'm drinking peppermint tea. I realized I didn't drink it that entire time and now it's cold, so that's quite unfortunate. I'm gonna have to heat it up after this. Okay. Also, the sun is going down, so if it gets dark, I'm sorry. Okay, my current split. So I'll just kind of talk through my journey. I got into weightlifting after I tore my ACL senior year of high school. So in 2020. Why am I fucking losing it? 2021? 2020. No, it was 2020 when I tore it. It was 2020, the fall of 2020. Sorry. And I was obviously devastated and wanted to literally die. Had to miss my last season of soccer. And my high school and my club season. It was literally 2 days after I committed to playing college. Thought my life was over. Little did I know, was actually probably one of the best things to ever happen to me, because it got me into weightlifting. And basically I'd been working with a trainer, kind of doing some weightlifting, some injury prevention, a lot more like speed and agility stuff. His name's Cody, at Four Corners Sports Performance, shout out, in Arvada, Colorado. He's literally awesome, and I owe him so much for just where I'm at in my lifting journey right now, because he basically he taught me so much. Like, he and gave me the confidence to go to the gym and use every machine and squat and like actually start lifting heavy. So yeah, but basically in my recovery, a lot of it is like building your strength back. So that kind of got me into weightlifting. But I was more doing like upper and lower days, maybe 3 days a week, like full body. And then after I kind of recovered from that, and I wasn't cleared to play soccer yet, obviously, like that took a lot longer. So I would go to the gym and I would lift, and I started making a split for myself, putting in a leg day, a push day, a pull day, and just really loved it. And so fast forward to when I went back to play soccer, it kind of, during season, I realized like I was kind of sad because I lost a lot of my muscle just because we were running so much. Your body changes from like season to off season and stuff. And we weren't lifting as much because we would just do lifts with the trainers like 3 times a week or twice a week. I don't even remember. In season, it's different. For preseason, we were lifting more, and then in the off season, we lift more. But yeah, so I was lifting less, and I didn't have it wasn't like my alone time in the gym. It was like we were doing what they told us to do, which was obviously super helpful and awesome. And they're great trainers. But I kind of missed the like me just lifting on my own aspect. So then in the off season, I would lift more on my own, and I had developed a split, and then transferred and kind of got into a habit of over exercising and lifting like every single day and getting weaker and just literally wanting to die. And now I have kind of gotten to a place where I'm really happy with where I'm at. I feel and I look so much stronger. And I kind of have a split now that works for me. So I'll kind of walk you guys through it. But yeah. Okay, so I'll start with a glute and a hamstring focused leg day. And then I'll do a back and biceps day. I'll do a spin class, and then I'll do a quad focus leg day, and then I'll do chest and triceps, and then back and shoulders. That is new for me. I used to just do chest, triceps, and shoulders all on the same day, but my workouts started getting way too long, and so I split it up, and now I'm hitting back twice a week, which I really like, and I've seen a lot of progress since I started doing that. And doing back and shoulders on a separate day. So that's been super helpful for me. And then I'll do a rest day. Was that 6 days? Let's see. Glutes, hamstrings, back bis, spin, chest tries, back shoulders. Why am I like losing it right now? I don't know. I work out 6 days a week and I take 1 rest day. And on my rest day, to keep my routine going, I'll kind of just like go on a walk in the morning to get my steps in, and maybe do some light stretching if I'm feeling sore, maybe foam roll, but that's kind of it. So that's been super helpful for me lately, and it's been working really well. And it's not always in the same order every single week. It kind of depends. If I'm feeling sore and I have to push my leg day back a day or something and like switch some stuff up, I'll do it. So that's kind of just what's been working for me. But yeah, I hope that this kind of gave you some insight into my own journey and maybe helped you with your own. And I hope that you guys can take something away with this. Share it with a friend if you think that they will benefit. Share it with your workout buddy. And yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review. If you didn't, please don't leave a negative review. But thank you guys so much for listening. It's great to be back on the mic, and I hope you guys are having a great start to spring. And follow the podcast Instagram and my personal Instagram, linked in the show notes below, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. So yeah, bye guys. Much love. Macy.